Well, serendipity basically has struck again. I'm trying to go to this place that is called Birders Paradise, if I remember right. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I do have my phone, I could look it up. But anyway, I will show you these places on the map as I'm talking. But I expected it to take me through the town of La Concepcion, which is right on a main highway. Absolutely has nothing to do with the hills as it relates to anything scenic or anything like that. It's just the Pan American Highway going from Costa Rica to Panama City, well, through David and Santiago and then Panama City. But anywho, so as I did the research last night, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll do that. It's a bit of a drive, but I really want to go to this place because there's also a canyon there with some waterfalls. I'll do the birds first because usually we have bright sunny in the morning to early afternoon, and then I'll do the afternoon over at the waterfall, the canyon area. It'll be great. And then the map took me north of this town, this border town, and I was just like, wait, what? So I finally got a place where I felt comfortable to pull over, took a look at what the route was, and I was like, well, if it says that's the shortest route, I guess I'm not going to argue too much, I'm just going in my mind thinking about it. And then I was like, well, there were some waterfalls up here that I wanted to see, so why not? So I put in the first one and I pulled off the road where it said it was, where the map said it was, and I did not see a sign at all. It was at least a mile hike into the woods, into the jungle, and with no sign or trail that I could discern easily. I was just like, I'm not going to worry about that. And so we continue on. So I've gotten a couple of images right here at this little pull-off. It's just some random pull-off. There's no rhyme or reason except that it's beautiful, and it's effectively what I'm going to call the start of the cloud forest, because the clouds are just kind of moving through. It's absolutely gorgeous. And if I had not let the map just kind of do its thing, I would have totally missed it. And so I'm glad to have done this, because I would not have chosen this route myself. I know that, but it was a bit of a mistake. And now I'm taking, if you want to call it, making lemonade out of lemons and making the best of it. And it's gorgeous. And I'm just thrilled to have this experience and have this opportunity. Just continuing on this journey, loving the drive. It's beautiful, nice, windy, curvy road through the cloud forest. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous day to do it. Note to self, watch where you stand, because them ants don't like it when you get too close. And I'm wearing flip-flops today. Okay, I will stand over here. I decided to go on up all the way to Rio Sereno and then come on over. I think this is Highway 13. And then I am roughly a half an hour from my destination right now, but I've been shooting along the way, so I'm showing you a few pictures here along the way. And let me tell you, I mean, if I had the money, I would definitely be tempted to buy up some property, because at some point in time I'll be retiring and wanting to have a shift in life and all that stuff, but it's a pipe dream. So here we are in this beautiful country, and it's just turned into a fantastic little road trip. Gonna have these two destinations that I'm going for at the end of this road trip, and then I'll just probably end up hoofing it on back to the hostel this evening when I'm done. Succumbing to the temptation of renting a car, good idea or bad idea? That's something that I've been thinking about over these last, almost day and a half now, just about, and whether or not this was a smart move. I love the fact that I'm able to get up to places like this and see a much greater variety and a much greater spread of the country. But also it has really changed the nature and the idea of the trip and the idea of the travel that I'm doing and the style of the travel. I started out with the idea that I would be going completely public transportation the whole way and that I wouldn't rely on something like this. But then when the hostel host made it available, and told me it was only $40 a day, I gotta tell you, it was obviously too tempting, so I succumbed. But I fully believe all of these shots that I've been able to make absolutely would not have been possible except for having rented the car. So today's journey has taken me on a completely different route than I anticipated initially, and that part still remains true. The idea of going with the flow, relying on serendipity, and seeing what can happen. So in that regard, I still haven't lost that flavor of the trip. So that's definitely something I'm really happy about as well. Hey, I just made it to the birding paradise place. When you turn into this place, it's a little bit odd feeling because you're coming into just these people's yards is what it feels like. And you're coming in on a driveway. And that's literally what's happening, because you come back to this house here and it's run by these people, and the trail is right over here. It goes down to the river, and then they have a porch that you can go up to, and on that porch there's about 4, maybe 5 hummingbird feeders. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. But then she offered around back, they've got a guest room that's empty right now, and of course the baño, so hallelujah for that. But she was also inviting me to stay, and it's a very nice guest room. I don't have any video of that, but it's a very nice guest room, but not a kitchenette included. So I always look for a kitchenette so I can provide my own food. But if you have a car, and if you want a place that's out in nature, away from the traffic and all that, this is the place for you to come support a family and have a fantastic time with access to the trail and all that wonderful good stuff. So hummingbirds to start off with, so let's get a few shots of that, and then on down the trail. Also, the other place I wanted to go to, Monte something, I'm forgetting the name. I passed by it on the way here. It's a canyon, and it's where the river runs through a canyon, and the parking lot looked inaccessible for my car. So I'm gonna go try it out again, but I may not be able to go there. I may be shifting my plans yet once again, just because of what is possible to do. All right, let's get up and let's take a look at some hummingbirds. I've decided to go without my tripod on this particular shoot, in part because I just want to operate more quickly, but also, especially with the hummingbirds, I'm going to want a slightly faster shutter speed anyway. I will be using my long lens and doing what I can to isolate them, getting the gesture of the body, the form, the shape. Of course, they're doing normal hummingbird things, or as I was preparing for my shoot, I was talking with a 9-year-old boy. He called them colibri, that's in Spanish, so I learned something there. But they are very skittish, just like regular old hummingbirds, but they hover. I'm watching one now, dips his beak in, you know, that's just good stuff. So I have to get started, get shooting here. So this trail on down to the river, where we're supposed to be able to look at more birds and such, is what I'm on right now. And I don't think it's a very long trail. I can hear the water pretty good, and it's very nicely manicured. And I think this is just going to be just a beautiful little hike, a little trail to follow. And then of course I have to climb on back up, but that's all right. It's going to be really nice. Now I am seeing some flowers and plants and type stuff that I might want to get too, but I'm going to try and focus on the birds right now. That's kind of what I'm here for, but certainly always keep your eyes open for other opportunities is definitely going to be my advice. Boy, this is just a beautiful, basically it's their backyard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not terribly surprised that I haven't really seen a whole lot of birds. I mean, they're way up there. And as far as getting any pictures, they're just going to have a white background, plus they're at least 40 feet in the air. So I'm going to be heading out here soon to this waterfall slash canyon slash whatever it is we can call it. Cascada Macho de Monte. Well, one thing I can thank Google for is the Translate app, because this is not the regular parking lot. I asked those guys via the app, I was typing it in as I'm trying to ask, if I could park there, because the parking lot down here, as I put it, is broken. That's the term that I put into Google Maps anyway. They knew what I was talking about, and let me show you what I mean. This is the standard or the regular parking lot, and this is the entrance to it. There is no way that my car would have gone over that safely. At least I did not want to push it, so I decided to hunt for another parking spot. Those guys were there. I was able to ask, so everything is good. Now, why did I want to come here? I was looking on the map at different places in this area, and of course I'm attracted to waterfalls and the like, and so this is a huge place for a waterfall, but it's a very narrow canyon. Just back yonder, I think, is where the main interest point is, but I wanted to look down here as well, because we have the convergence of two rivers right here, and then it's going over the edge, and I can't see a blame thing. There's nothing that's really sticking out to me right now that says I gotta go shoot it, but I figured it was worth it to come look at it. Oh, I see what's happening. So this one is emptying into that over the edge, and then the canyon is right over yonder. You can't see me. There we go, over yonder. Right in here, I'm not seeing anything that's super, I gotta get it kind of a thing. So we'll head on back to the regular trail, because it's not very long walk, and we should see the good stuff. And here is the good stuff that I was talking about. Way down there. You're supposed to be able to get down there. Misterios repentinas del caudal del río, warning of sudden river floods. Makes a lot of sense since it's such a steep canyon, or steep walled canyon. But the reviews that I read said that you really need a rope to get down there, that it's not 100% necessary, but it really makes it easy. And they were recommending bringing your own rope, because people got down there, they were saying, and then the people who had tied the rope there had brought their rope, taken it with them, and left the people down there without a rope to get out. So it just made it a little more difficult to get out. So I was kind of like, well, I'll just go see what I can see. I'm not gonna buy a rope. Maybe someone has installed a rope and left it there for others to use, but I'm just gonna go see what I can see. So we've seen at least a little bit, and now we're gonna see if we can get something closer that actually might make a good photograph. Once again, I've left the tripod in the car because I'm anticipating this to be a very difficult climb slash whatever you want to call it. I also left my other backpack in the car because this is not going to be a long walk at all. At least that's my anticipation. And I hope I'm going the right way, because there was a sign there and all that good stuff. So I just hope I'm going the right way. Yes, I think I see where we need to be. Check out those dark clouds over there. They've been slowly building over the last half hour or so. I have a feeling I'm barking up the wrong tree as far as accessing the canyon. I have not seen any easy way down there. from here. I figured it looked like a pathway, and there's no signage that says you can't go here. And as I see the stairs leading on up that way, I don't see how they come down that spillway, how there's access to come down the spillway. So there's got to be access up more this way that I just overlooked, somehow missed. I think I found it. I'm definitely going to get sand in my shoes, which is going to be annoying. And now it's starting to rain. And my umbrella is in my little backpack. Oh, I'm not having fun now. And it seems the rain is bringing down extra clods of dirt. Yeah, this is definitely the place where the rope is needed. And I'm gonna bail on it since it's raining and getting harder. And I don't have a rope for that. That's going to be too dangerous for me to slide down, number one, and I'll never get back out. Although I probably could walk up the creek further and get out that way. But with it raining like this, and it's probably not going to let up, given the size of those clouds, I just need to, unfortunately, both protect myself and my gear and get out of here. And when I say protect myself, I'm really just talking about getting down in a canyon like that when it's actively raining. It's just going to make it slippery and such. I'm not afraid of melting in the rain. I could certainly just come back and gotten my umbrella and continued if it was a regular trail. But since it's not a regular trail, I'm not going to risk it. I have, in my old age, become fairly risk averse, and I'm just not interested in pushing it and risking it. Especially, I'm in a foreign country. You know, if I was at home, that might be different, but I'm in a foreign country, so there's a whole lot of thought process that goes on with that, and everything else. It's just not for me to do something that could potentially be very foolish. So I'm gonna see what this Mirador Público de Cordillera, I think, actually that's just the sign that says Cordillera. No, it looks like it's a lookout. All right, so I will go see what that's about, because with the clouds in the sky like this, maybe it's gonna make something interesting. Maybe my day is done. I don't know, but we're gonna keep trying, as it's only about 3:20 p.m. We're gonna keep trying until we run out of time, which is daylight, or we just absolutely are consistently rained out or whatever. So onward and upward to the next destination. Mirador Público. I'm not used to these ultra tiny parking pull-offs. I had to cycle back and then slowly get in there, and yeah, it's fine. So it's already stopped raining, but with the last place, it can start up raining anytime. And I'm still comfortable not shooting there, because now that the trail is wet, whatever trail I would find, whatever rocks I would have to climb down, it's all wet, and it's going to be wet for a while, and it's just not going to be safe for me to do. So as far as this is concerned, oh, that's kind of nice. Almost a canyon feel way down yonder. As far as making a photograph, however, I'm not seeing anything here that really strikes me and says that's going to be a decent photograph. But it is beautiful. It certainly looks nice. So I'll just look on the map one more time and see what else I can find that might work out in this area or anywhere between here and the hostel. I'm not interested in going out yonder and figuring out something way out yonder, but I would stop somewhere between here and the hostel. So I'll go spend a few minutes looking at that and see what's possible. I'm back at the hostel, or actually I've taken a little bit of a walk to end my day. So I'll give you a few shots here of me ending my day. I have been wanting to stop at some of the small towns that I drove through today and photograph, but I really didn't. So I'm going to do that here at the very end of the day. Through this town is called El Palmar, and being that this is Friday, I am planning to take a rest day, a break day tomorrow, and that's just my common practice. This certainly is a nice little town. Nice gated areas for the homes, very nicely well done homes. As I walk further on down, I'll probably see some items that are less, dare I say, well-to-do. I don't know. There's even a chance that tomorrow I'll be coming here. This is actually the local Seventh Adventist church, and it is tempting for me to come on down and see what the worship service is like. So if I decide to do that, of course, then I do that. That's great. The only reason I wouldn't do that is if I just plumb need to sleep, if I just plumb need to really unplug. But to plug into a local congregation would be kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to that potential, for that possibility, I should say. And for these last photos of the day, I've decided I'm only going to be shooting this 10 to 18 millimeter lens. It is the lens that I've not used very much, in part because I don't have the step down ring or step up ring, whatever it is, for the polarizers. And so I've been favoring the other lens since it's a lot easier to use the polarizers there. But also just my overall view. It's usually not something that's super wide angle, my overall vision and view. And so I'm just gonna kind of force myself to do that here at the very end of the day. I look forward to the next video where we're gonna be tackling a bit of a different style of photography once again. I'm gonna be going to David, and I'm not gonna use the tripod at all. I'll fill you all in on that video and what all those details are going to be about, because I'm also skipping the hotel for Sunday night. Oh man, am I crazy? All right, maybe I am. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, God bless and happy shooting.